And here we go. Hey, everybody. Good evening. It is Friday, February 12th, 2021, and it is time for our fourth episode of Star Trek Radio Theater's second season. We're very excited to bring this to you. This is our first redo, if you will, because we've been doing a Mirror Universe theme to start season two. We wanted to kind of keep that going. The original Next Generation doesn't have an official Mirror episode, but we wanted to do the closest thing that we thought was that, and it's Yesterday's Enterprise, which we did as the original pilot for this radio theater show. So this is a reenactment or a redo of that. But so we have the original cast, me, Jane, Jeff, Ashley, all reprising at least one of our roles. And plus, we have a whole bunch of new radio theater performers who are joining us for this second season performance. So this is great. We're excited to bring this to you, and this is a great story close to my heart by Trent Christopher Ganino, Eric A. Stillwell, and the teleplay by Ira Steven Behr, Richard Manning, Hans Beimler, and Ronald D. Moore. Of course, with Kevin and Ashley and myself working on the script. So that's all good. Let's get going with the show.
We focus on 10 forward. Worf is sitting alone at a table. Guinan brings him a glass filled with dark purplish liquid.
All right, try this.
What is it?
Just try it.
He hesitates, but tries it. His face lights up.
You see? It's an earth drink. Prune juice.
A warrior's drink.
You know, you always drink alone. It wouldn't hurt to seek out a little companionship.
I would require a Klingon woman for companionship. Earth females are too fragile.
Not all of them. There are a few on this ship that would find you tame.
Impossible.
You never know till you try.
Then I will never know.
Coward.
I was merely concerned for the safety of my crewmates.
Drink your prune juice.
Worf turns to look out the window. A fuzzy, swirly thing has appeared outside the ship.
Lieutenant Worf! Report to bridge!
On my way.
Worf leaves. Guinan gets up and walks over to the window, a concerned look on her face.
No.
We focus on the bridge. The anomaly is on the view screen, and the crew are analyzing it.
Analyse, monsieur data.
Sensors are reading gravimetric fluctuations, Captain. Most unusual ones.
Unusual in what way? Specify.
Nothing I've seen before.
So un vortex, is it a wormhole?
Yes and no, like a time displacement, but it does not have a discernible event horizon.
Sir, navigational subsystems are unable to give us good coordinates on the object.
Confirmed. The phenomenon does not have a definable center or outer edge.
Are you saying it is, and yet isn't there?
I do not have sufficient information to make an analysis as yet. Commander, the dynamics of the radiation patterns.
Captain! Something's happening. A new change in sensor readings.
Picard turns to face us, blocking our view of the back of the bridge.
Monsieur data.
Scanning sensors.
A ship emerges from the phenomenon. Picard phases in and out for a second, and we see a few changes. His uniform grows a higher color, and the bridge becomes slightly darker. Suddenly, the Starfleet uniforms now include belts and black cuffs.
Lieutenant, what are their sensor readings? Is that an enemy vessel?
Picard turns, and we see the security chief behind him. But it isn't Worf, who we've grown accustomed to seeing standing at the back of the bridge. Tasha Yar is back.
I'm getting too much interference, Captain!
We focus on 10 forward. A ship-wide announcement can be heard over the comm.
Now hear this. Fleet formation briefing in main war room at 1500 hours. Dr. Joshua Campbell, report to station ops. Ensign Toms, please forward combat information. Ensign Thomas to CIC.
Guinan's clothes are different. The place is noisy and very busy. She looks around, confused and concerned.
This isn't right. It's changed.
We focus on the bridge.
It's clearing now, Captain! Definitely Federation starship! Accessing registry!
Looks like they had a rough ride. Ooh, yeah.
1701! See? USS Enterprise!
L'espace, frontière de l'infini, vers laquelle voyage notre vaisseau spatial. These are the voyagers of the Starship Enterprise. Sa mission, explorer de nouveaux mondes étrangers, découvrir de nouvelles formes de vie et de nouvelles civilisations, et mépris tout danger, recule l'impossible! Journée militaire combatant 4365.2. While investigating an unusual radiation anomaly, the Enterprise has encountered what could almost be called a ghost from its own past. The Enterprise, sir, the immediate predecessor to this battleship.
We focus on the bridge. It's very different. There are more stations. There is only one chair, the captain's chair, in the middle of the bridge. The wooden arc behind it that houses the security and tactical station is smaller and shorter. And the most disturbing change of all, Wesley is in full Starfleet uniform.
Sensors confirm designs and specifications, Captain. Analysis of the hull and engine materials conform to engineering patterns and methods of that time period.
But that cruiser was destroyed with all hands over 20 years ago.
Presumed destroyed. The Enterprise C was last seen near the Klingon outpost at Narendra 3, exactly 22 years, 3 months, and 4 days ago.
And
Has
now
it been a
they're
drift for all those
here.
years? Or has it traveled through time?
It's a possibility, Captain. If that hypothesis is correct, the phenomenon we just encountered would be a temporal rift in space.
A rift?
Possibly the formation of a Kerr loop from the superstring material. It would require high-energy interactions occurring in the vicinity for such a structure to be formed. The rift is certainly not stable, Captain. It could collapse at any time.
Captain! I'm able to scan the interior of the ship now, sir! Every damage to warp field nacelles and hull bearing struts! Internal space frame is... life signs, Captain! Readings are sporadic. It looks like they have massive casualties, but some are still alive.
Bridge to sickbay. Ooh, yeah. Emergency teams, stand by. Transporter rooms.
Understood.
Ooh, yeah.
Belay that other doctor.
Respectfully, if I may suggest, regardless of where they came from. Ooh, yeah. They are here
Commander,
now, and they
if that
need
ship
our
has
help.
traveled into the future, we could be dealing with variables that will alter the flow of our history.
Enterprise C is sending out a distress call, sir. Audio only.
Uh-huh.
This is Captain Garrett of the Spaceship Enterprise to any Federation ship. We have been attacked by Romulan warships and require immediate assistance. We've lost warp drive. Life support is failing.
There's no record of the Romulans ever assaulting
Voice
the Enterprise,
message
sir.
ended,
Oh,
Captain.
yeah.
I'm only receiving their automated distress signal now.
Open Haley frequency. This is Captain Jean-Luc Picard of the Federation, of a Federation starship. Stand by to receive emergency teams. Commander, we'll handle this one step at a time. Stabilize their power systems and tend to the injured. And avoid all discussions of where and when they are.
Why, sir?
Message
Lieutenant!
coming in from Starfleet monitor stations. Klingon battle cruisers headed toward this sector.
Battle alert, Monsieur Crusher. Condition Jean, yellow.
Aye, sir.
We focus on the Enterprise C bridge. There are flames and smoke everywhere. Charred bodies lay across consoles. The crew is wearing original series Wrath of Khan movie uniforms. And while we're on that note, there are some subtle yet noticeable changes in the uniforms from the 2280s to these uniforms of the 2340s. These uniforms lack the bulky divisional turtleneck as well as the belt. Also, they're more fitted. Whoops, sorry, back to the story. The away team beams in.
Yes?
Captain Garrett! I'm the Macho Man William Riker. Our emergency teams are on board your ship. Ooh, Doctor!
The rest of the bridge crew is dead. She has a bad fracture and has serious internal injuries. I'm going to have to get her back to the Enterprise.
To where? You'll explain that
We'll
now,
explain
Captain.
that later. Ship. We answered your distress call. Your ship is in good hands. Oh, yeah, good. But we need to get you to our sick bay. Oh, yeah.
Very well.
Crusher to transporter room. 2 to beam directly to sick bay.
Stand by for transport.
Crusher and Garrett are beamed away.
It's pretty bad, Commander. Looks like they were in a hell of a fight. If you can't stabilize this life support, we're going to have to evacuate this ship. Well, I think I can do it. I'll have to get to engineering, though. LaForge to damage control Team Alpha. Meet me on engineering level 3.
Commander?
A sound of coughing interrupts her. They move some debris. And find another survivor.
Thanks.
Commander! Macho Man
Lieutenant Castillo,
William
helmsman.
We focus on Enterprise D bridge.
Away team reporting in, sir.
On screen, Monsieur Data. Go ahead, Commander.
We've stabilized life support. Master LaForge is working on restoring the main power couplings, but that'll take time. It's a real mess down here, sir. 125.
Recommendation.
Ooh, I'd hate to have to scrap her. Ooh, Starfleet could certainly use another ship.
Agreed.
Even if
But we can't
she's
stay here
old.
in this area too long. You have 9 If you can get her underway by then, we'll escort her to Starbase 105. If not, we'll evacuate Desavant and destroy the ship. Keep me posted. Picard
Understood,
terminate.
sir.
Guinan enters. She is looking around the bridge, perplexed.
Guinan?
We need to talk. Somehow this is all wrong. This is not the way it's supposed to be.
We focus on the ready room.
You must have some idea how things have changed.
I look at things, I look at people, and they just don't feel right.
What things? What people?
You. Your uniform, the bridge.
What's the matter with the bridge?
It's not right.
It's the same bridge. Nothing has changed.
I know that. I also know it's wrong.
What else?
Families. There should be children on the ship.
Quoi? They have also the Enterprise? Children? Guinan, we are at war.
No, we're not. At least we're not supposed to be. This is not a ship of war. This is a ship of peace.
What you're suggesting?
I'm not suggesting. That ship from the past is not supposed to be here. It's got to go back.
We focus on sick. The beds are full of wounded Enterprise C members. Captain Garrett is in a biobed. Crusher is attending to her.
These organs do seem to be active. Right.
Run a full electrolyte report. Boost the level of tricordrazine. Try to relax. Dr. Salar reports pathology ward stat. Dr. Salar reports pathology ward stat. Picard enters sickbay.
Je suis Capitaine Jean-Luc Picard.
Rachel Garrett, how's my ship?
The support systems are being restored. We are continuing repairs.
Where did you come from? We were picking up any other Federation ships in this sector.
What's the last thing you remember?
We were answering a distress signal.
Distress signal?
You must have heard it. From the Klingon outpost, the Ensign 3. But you didn't, did you? This is sickbay. I've never seen anything like it, even on a starbase. And your uniform. What ship is this, Captain?
Please try to be still.
I must insist, what ship?
You are aboard the Enterprise, Capitaine. 1701. You have come, how do you say, 22 years into the future.
22 years. Does my crew know yet?
No.
I must tell them. I owe them that.
If you wish. I can see that they're informed.
Is there some reason they should not be told?
I am concerned that if you return to your own time with knowledge of the future.
Return to the battle? We barely escaped with our lives. If we return, we'd be destroyed.
Have you any idea how this happened?
There was a fierce volley of photon torpedoes. We were hit. A bright light. And then here.
It is possible that the exchange of fire was the catalyst of the formation of a temple rift. History has no record of your battle with the Romulans.
We were responding to a distress call from the Klingon outpost on the Ensign 3. The Romulans were attacking it. We engaged them. But there were 4 warbirds.
The Narendra 3 outpost was destroyed. It is regrettable that you did not succeed. A Federation starship rescuing the Klingon outpost might have averted, how do you say, 20 years of war.
We focus on the Enterprise C bridge.
I just can't quite make myself believe it. 22 years.
I'm reading 40% of former Jilts. What do you have on aft?
40%.
That won't cut it. Commander, advise Lieutenant LaForge the shields are below minimum.
We'll never see our homes again.
Ooh,
Our
yeah.
families.
How do you know your family's not still alive?
Oh, yeah, you're right. I don't. But imagine coming home after 22 years. Would I even recognize them?
Tasha changes the subject. She doesn't have time or care about Castillo's emotions.
What are the stats on main phaser banks?
Emitters available 60% forward, 52% aft.
Good! Let's take a look at the torpedo launchers.
I guess I'm lucky to be alive at all.
You may not like the future. It's been a long war. The Federation has lost more than half of Starfleet to the Klingons.
We were negotiating a peace treaty when I left.
A lot of changes, Lieutenant! A lot of changes!
When we get a break, maybe you could fill me in on some of them.
She's still not having it.
Photon banks are depleted! Accelerant fusion generators are down!
We focus on the Enterprise D bridge.
There is a high degree of probability that the temporal rift is symmetrical, Captain.
Then what would happen if the Enterprise were to fly right through it?
Back, sir? The Enterprise C would emerge in her own time, almost at the same time.
Right in the middle of the battle with the Romulans.
Yes, sir.
Is there any possibility she could survive?
None, sir.
Then sending them back would be a death sentence.
We focus on a corridor. It is full of more crew than we're used to seeing. Tasha is giving Castillo a tour. Lieutenant Barrett to communications.
She was the first Galaxy-class warship built by the Federation. 42 decks, capable of transporting over 6,000 troops.
How long have you been on board?
4 years, straight out of the academy. I was lucky to get the Enterprise.
Yeah, me too. I mean, my Enterprise.
We focus on sickbay. Tasha and Castillo enter. They head over to Captain Garrett.
Lieutenant, how's the ship?
We've restored minimal shields and the forward phaser banks. Still no photon launchers or warp drive.
Concentrate on the weapon systems. From what Captain Picard told me, the Federation can use all the help it can get.
And soon, our sensors have picked up Klingon warships in the sector, Captain.
Why wasn't I informed, Mr. Castillo?
Garrett starts to sit up.
Captain, you shouldn't.
As senior officer, I want you to be my liaison to the Enterprise D. Coordinate with tactical.
That's me, Captain.
Where do you think you're going?
I'm resuming my duties, Doctor.
Captain, you need at least another 24 hours.
Nonsense. Doctors always overprotect their patients.
And captains always push themselves too hard.
Doctor, my ship and my crew need me now. 24 hours might as well be 24 years.
She gets up and leaves sickbay. Crusher is pissed. We focus on the war room. Guinan enters, clearly summoned by Picard.
I need more.
There is no more. I wish there were. I wish I could prove it, but I can't.
Then I can't ask them to go back.
You've got to.
Kino, they will die moments after they return. How can I ask them to sacrifice themselves solely based on your intuition?
I don't know. But I do know that this is a mistake. Every fiber in my being says this is a mistake. I can explain it to you myself, so I can't explain it to you. I only know that I'm right.
Who is to say that this history is any less proper than the other?
I suppose I am.
Not good enough, damn it! Not good enough! I will not ask them to die!
40 billion people have already died. This war is not supposed to be happening. You've got to send those people back to correct this.
And what is to guarantee that if they go back, they will succeed? Every instinct telling me this is wrong, it is dangerous, it is futile.
We've known each other a long time. You have never known me to impose myself on anyone or take a stance based on trivial or whimsical perceptions. This timeline must not be allowed to continue. Now, I've told you what you must do. You only have your trust in me to help you decide to do it.
Guinan leaves. We focus on 10 forward. Tasha is still telling Castillo all about the ship.
Deflector shield technology has advanced considerably during the war. Our heat dissipation rates are probably double those of the Enterprise C, which means we can hang in a firefight a lot longer.
Guinan enters 10 forward. As she goes behind the bar, she is staring at Tasha. Tasha notices.
Guinan?
Have you ordered yet, Tasha?
No, not yet. Is anything wrong?
Not a thing. What can I get you?
Just a couple of TKLs. We're in a hurry. Oh, this is Lieutenant Castillo.
Guinan nods and moves slowly away.
First time for everything.
First time?
It's just I've never seen anything but her before.
What's a TKL?
Standard rations. Food replicators are minimum power, so everything else is diverted to defensive systems. So, where was I?
You've told me more about tactical in an hour than I've learned in my last year at the academy.
You're going to need it, Lieutenant.
Hey, I've known you for a whole day now. Lieutenant, I won't salute if you won't. What did she call you? Tasha?
Yeah?
Most everybody just calls me Castillo. My mother calls me Richard.
Okay, Castillo.
No, I think maybe I'd like it better if you called me Richard.
Richard!
Oh.
This is the Captain. Senior officers will report to my ready room immediately.
So much for lunch.
We focus on the ready room. Picard is briefing his senior bridge crew. Captain, are you suggesting that we let them return and attempt to complete their mission?
I am, Doctor.
Based on Guinan's intuition.
That won't accomplish anything, sir. There's no way they can save Miranda 3.
Garrett says there were 4 Romulan warbands. The Enterprise C would be outmanned and outgunned.
Unless we were to
We can't do
rearm
that.
them with
If we
modern...
send that ship back with new technology, we will be altering the past.
But that's what you're talking about anyway. Isn't it? Altering
We're talking
the
about
past?
restoring
Oh,
the
yeah.
past.
How could Guinan know that history has been altered if she's been altering along with
Perhaps
the
the
rest of
species
us?
has the perception that goes beyond linear time.
There are many things about her species we can't easily explain. Yet it is very possible she is correct. A ship from the past has traveled through time. How can we know what effect those events will have on the present? Indeed, we shall never know for certain if Guinan is correct. But I have decided the consequences of that possibility are too great to ignore. Dismissed.
Sir, If you'd
I
like
think
to
I am
take
aware
the
of your
Macho
opinion,
Man's
Commander
opinion,
Macho Man. This is a briefing. I am not seeking your consent.
with all due respect, sir, you'd be asking 125 people to die a meaningless
Not necessarily
death.
meaningless.
Ooh, yeah.
Commander, the Klingons regard honor above all else. If the Enterprise C had died fighting for the survival of a Klingon outpost, it would be considered a meaningful act of honor by the Klingon Empire.
Even their deaths might have prevented this war. If the Enterprise returns to the battle and this mission is a success, history will be irrevocably changed. This timeline will cease to exist and a new future will have been created. I've considered the alternatives. I'll go with Guinan's recommendation. Dismissed.
We focus on the bridge. If she's right, we may not even be in an alternate timeline.
Yeah. Who knows if we're dead or alive?
We focus on a turbolift. Tasha has overheard what LaForge said, and it has unsettled her.
Engineering. Is engineering your destination as well?
What? Oh, that's sorry.
If I interpret your facial expressions correctly, you're preoccupied with something unpleasant.
No, I was just thinking about a lot of things. I've been working with one of the officers of the Enterprise C. He's nice. I like him. I'm worried about what's going to happen to him.
We may never know what happens. If they succeed, we will not even realize that these events even occurred.
We focus on the Enterprise C bridge. The crews of both Enterprises are working away.
Shields are up to 72%. That's better.
Good.
Do you believe in this, Guinan?
I discovered a long time ago that she has a special wisdom. I've learned to trust it. I could arrange for you to speak with her if you wish.
Captain, I would be lying to you if I told you there was a chance in hell of coming out of this alive. Why doesn't your ship come back with us? The Romulans would be no match for your weaponry.
I cannot do that.
No, I suppose not. You don't belong in our time any more than we belong in yours. To be honest, Picard, a significant number of my crew members have expressed a desire to return, even knowing the odds. Some because they can't bear to live without their loved ones. Some because they don't like the idea of slipping out in the middle of a fight. I have told them that in the here and now, the Federation needs another ship against the Klingons. And we better get used to being in the here and now.
But if you go back, it could be a great deal more helpful. The war is going very badly for the Federation, far worse than is generally known. Starfleet Command believes defeat is inevitable. Within 6 months, we may have no choice but to surrender.
And you're saying all this may be a result of our arrival here.
One more ship will make no more difference in the here and now. But, how do you say, 22 years ago, one more ship could have stopped this war before it started.
Mr. Castillo?
Yes, Captain.
Inform the crew we're going back.
Yes, Captain.
The Romulans will get a good fight. We'll make it one for the history books.
I know you will, Capitaine. Lieutenant Yar?
Permission to remain a moment, sir.
Granted.
Transporter room. Captain Picard is ready to return to his ship. Aye, Captain.
Picard leaves.
I just wanted to say good luck.
I'll try and put some of your tactical briefing to good use when we get back.
Your ship has much more maneuverability than the Romulan counterparts of that era. Actually, if you could just isolate, you'd be fine.
If you get back to Earth and you see a man, say, in his late 50s, taking a hard look across a crowded room, hey, you never know.
Goodbye, Lieutenant.
Tasha dives to the ops console and starts working.
Red alert, full power to shields.
Shields are hit! Functioning!
Initiating evasive maneuvers. Gamma sequence.
Ready phasers. Enterprise D.
We focus on the Enterprise D bridge.
Has your captain returned safely?
Is safely aboard. Throw the flying elbows.
Throwing elbows.
Report!
One Klingon bird of prey off the starboard.
We focus on the Enterprise C bridge.
Firing phasers!
Low torpedo bays.
There's a big explosion. Garrett is hit. We focus on the Enterprise D bridge.
The Klingon vessel is recloaked, sir. I have no readings.
Captain Garrett, damage report.
We focus on the Enterprise C bridge.
Captain Garrett.
This is Lieutenant Yar, sir! Captain Garrett is dead!
We focus on the war room. Castillo is back aboard the D.
I'm prepared to lead the Enterprise back myself, Captain Picard.
Sir, Lieutenant Castillo is the last surviving senior officer. He will have limited support from ops. No tactical, reduced staff
I
and
have good people
engineering.
willing to do their best.
Certainly. But history never meant for this ship to go into battle
I
without her
can't speak to that point,
Capitan.
sir, but I can get us back to where we're supposed to be. I believe that's where Captain Garrett would want me to do.
Commander data to Captain Picard.
Go ahead.
Sir, sensors are showing additional instability in the time rift, possibly the result of a battle with the Klingons.
Any signs of other Klingon vessels?
No, sir.
Our coordinates have been transmitted to the Klingon command, sir! We mustn't remain here!
Sir, it's my intention to return, unless you order me not to.
How soon can your ship be ready?
We sustained moderate damage in the attack. I think we can get underway in a few hours.
Make it so. We'll give you cover.
We focus on the transporter room.
One to beam to the Enterprise C. We keep saying goodbye, don't we?
I wish there was more time.
More time? I think we have all the time we can handle it as it is.
They look at each other and don't give a damn that anyone else is in the room. They move in to share a passionate kiss.
Lieutenant?
She watches as he moves to the transporter pad, and they look at each other with a love that might have been. And then he disappears. We focus on 10 forward. Without even turning around, Guinan knows who it is.
Can I get you something, Tasha?
Ganino, I have to know something. What happens to me in the other timeline?
I don't have alternate biographies of the crew. As I said to the captain, it's just a feeling.
What? There's something more when you look at me, isn't there? I could see it in your eyes, Ganino. We've known each other too long.
We weren't meant to know each other at all. At least that's what I sense when I look at you. Tasha, you're not supposed to be here.
Where am I supposed to be?
Dead.
Do you know how?
No. But I do know that it was an empty death. A death without purpose.
We focus on the ready room.
Come. Oui, lieutenant.
Captain, I request a transfer to the Enterprise C.
For what reason?
They need someone at tactical.
We need you here.
I'm not supposed to be here, sir.
Sit down, lieutenant. What did she say to you?
I don't belong here, sir. I'm supposed to be dead.
She felt it necessary to reveal that to you?
I felt it was necessary.
I see. You realize that it is very possible the Enterprise will fail. We will continue this timeline, in which case your life, hopefully, will continue for a long while.
I know how important it is that they don't fail, Captain. That's why I'm requesting this transfer.
You don't belong on that ship, lieutenant.
No! Captain Garrett belongs on that ship, but she's dead. And I think there's a certain logic in this request.
There's no logic in this at all. Whether they succeed or not, the Enterprise will be destroyed.
But Captain, at least with someone at tactical, they will have a chance to defend themselves. Well, it may be a matter of seconds or minutes, but those could be the minutes that change history. Guinan says I died a senseless death in the other timeline. I didn't like the sound of that, Captain. I've always known the risks that come with a Starfleet uniform. If I'm to die in one, I'd like my death to count for something.
Lieutenant, permission granted.
Thank you, sir.
We focus on the Enterprise C bridge. The crew is busy at work, closing up patched together consoles. Castillo is in command, reviewing a monitor at an aft station. Castillo taps his comm badge.
I'm showing phaser banks up to 70% efficiency. We've got an hour left. Let's see if we can get them up to 90.
Aye, sir.
Parker, you've got ops. Fredericks, take the con. I'll handle tactical. Lieutenant Tasha Yar, report of duty, sir.
You're not part of my crew.
I am now. Captain Picard approved my request to transfer.
This isn't a joke, Tasha. We're going back into the rift, into battle. We're not coming back.
I know the mission. These are my orders, Lieutenant.
But I don't want you here.
You need me here. Show me someone on your crew who can do the job better than I can.
Welcome aboard. Take your station, Lieutenant.
Aye, sir.
Log militaire supplémentaire Lieutenant Tasha Yar has transferred to the Enterprise, sir, where she has taken over tactical duties. Meanwhile, our long-range scanners have picked up a Klingon battle cruisers on an intercept course.
We focus on the Enterprise D bridge.
Sure.
3-4 class battle cruisers, sir.
They're not even troubling to cloak themselves.
They shouldn't be so confident after the passing we gave them on Archer 4.
You mean the
Ooh,
pasting? Attention,
Yes, I mean
all
the pasting.
hands. As you know, we could outrun the Klingon vessels, but we must protect the Enterprise, sir, until she enters the temporal rift. And we must succeed. Let's make sure history never forgets the name Enterprise. Picard out.
The Klingons fire their disruptors.
Monsieur Data,
Shields are holding, sir.
hold fire. Monsieur Crusher, come about to course. How do you say? 148003.
Aye, sir.
Photon torpedoes ready.
Disperser pattern, Sierra, and fire.
One enemy target hit, sir. Moderate damage to their forward shields. Our shields are still holding. Minor damage to the secondary hull.
Course 148, correction. Course 170, mark 014.
Sir, one of the ships is breaking off and going towards the Enterprise, sir.
Monsieur Crusher, keep us with 200 kilometers of the Enterprise, sir.
Coming to 1-2-1-7, mark 1-5, increasing 2/3 impulse.
The Enterprise D exchanges fire with the Klingons.
Damage control teams. Deck
We
14.
focus
Ooh,
on
yeah.
engineering.
Engineering the bridge. Starboard power coupling is down. Containment field generator 3 is damaged.
We focus
Attempting
on the
the
bridge.
bypass. If we lose
Acknowledge
antimatter
La Force.
containment.
Sir, the Klingons are flanking us, attempting to draw us away from the Enterprise, sir.
Hold course, Monsieur Crusher. Continual fire, all phases.
One enemy target destroyed, sir.
A crewman is killed.
Damage report.
Heavy casualties in the secondary hull. Navigation sensor
We
array
focus on engineering.
inoperative. Antimatter containment fields are failing. If I can't stabilize them, I'll have to dump the reactor
focus on
core
the
or she'll blow.
Shields buckling, Captain. They will not.
We focus on engineering.
LaForge the bridge. I can't hold antimatter containment fields. Initiating emergency shutdown. Coolant leak! Bridge, we have a coolant leak in the engine core. I can't shut it down. I estimate 2 minutes to 1 core breach.
The crew starts to evacuate engineering. We focus on the
Go,
Enterprise
go,
D
go!
bridge. The Enterprise is taking heavy fire.
How long until the Enterprise, sir, enters the rift?
52 seconds, sir.
All remaining power to defense systems.
Power coupling severed in the forward phaser banks. Attempting to bypass. Controls not responding.
There is a big explosion on the bridge, and Riker is killed.
Federation ship Enterprise. Surrender and prepare to be boarded.
That will be the day.
Picard jumps the rail and takes over tactical. Flames grow around him as we cut to a shot of the Enterprise being pounded by disruptor fire. Enterprise C glides back into the rift. We're back on the bridge, and Picard is in his peacetime uniform. As he turns towards the back of the bridge, we see that Worf is back at his station.
Report, Lieutenant.
Readings fluctuated momentarily. It appeared to be a ship, but then it vanished.
The phenomenon is closing on itself, Captain.
Very well. Prepare a Class 1 sensor probe. We'll leave it behind tomorrow to define the closure. Monsieur Crusher, lay in the course for Archer Quatre.
Captain, this is Guinan. Is everything all right up there?
Guinan? Yes, everything's fine. Is something wrong?
We focus on 10 forward.
No. Everything's fine. Sorry to bother you.
She looks around. Everything is right. A sad smile crosses her face. She nods her head with satisfaction. Guinan calls over one of her servers to deliver a drink to Geordi's table as she joins him at the table.
Geordi, tell me about Tasha Yar.
Geordi looks at her with curiosity. He is wearing his uniform from the other timeline. How can we tell? It's got those black cuffs I was talking about earlier. Can we be sure this is our Geordi? We may never know.
And yes, that concludes our second reading of Star Trek Radio Theaters. Yesterday's Enterprise here for the second season, continuing with the Mirror Universe theme. I'm Dave Mader, and I was Capitaine Jean-Luc Picard in this episode. Let me switch just over to our speakers, just so Jane and I can get over here. Yeah, a lot of fun. Great job. So Jane was Guinan or Guinan or whoever you were. It was okay. Like, yeah, I'm just gonna bring in people sort of as they're on this down here on thing. You also Wesley Crusher, Monsieur Crusher.
Yes.
My favorite part was how Captain Picard was rubbing off on all of his fellow crewmen.
You were very infectious.
Very infectious. Let's bring in Adam Woodward, Monsieur Data, as Picard would say, as well as the Klingon commander.
Thank you. That was fun.
Yeah, that was a great job, man. You were excellent. You had some wackiness thrown at you at some points, and you had to hold that was fun. Let's bring in next my brother Jeff.
Throw in the elbows.
Macho Man, Randy Savage, as well as you were Joy LaForge with the Coolant League. Commander Marshall Man, as I said. We also had Michael Chan in the role of Tasha Yar, who was quite the woman. Who I don't know. I get it. I get it, Castillo. A lot of passion. A lot of passion. It wasn't until this particular read of this character that I knew. I really got it. So great job with that. That was a lot of fun. Let's bring in actually your romantic partner, which was Castillo in the part of Kevin Millard. Kevin, you were in the role of Castillo. Did you have another role as well? I'm sorry, I'm
Worf.
blanking. You were also Worf.
Worf.
I'm sorry, yeah, because you were at the very beginning, the very end. It's Worf. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, no, yeah. So yeah, the whole romance with Castillo and Tasha Yar. This was maybe my favorite version of this ever done. Now the third version, I guess, I've lived through. Ashley was in the role of Dr. Crusher, as well as was our narrator, and was a few other off-screen voices and things like that. Great job, both of you. Let's also bring in Mott, who was in the role of Captain Rachel Garrett, Capitaine Rachel Garrett, as well as a few off-screen crewman voices, the transporter guy, and some hear this people and things like that. That was a lot of fun. You like being the captain of the Enterprise C?
Yeah, sure.
Sure. As much as you like anything.
Except they blew me up at the end. I was really sad. I was really sad about watching it and watching the episode, preparing or whatever. That she was like wanting to go back and and fight her war in her time and stuff like that for her people or whatever. I was all about that. So I was like, in preparation for the character, I was like all behind her.
Come back and they would be no match. And he's like, I can't do that. And she's like, yeah, I guess you're right.
Praise men feet from Jessica Chan. There's a Amy McGogo here saying that was awesome. I laughed a lot. So I was laughing a lot. I was having a hard time keeping in character quite a bit tonight.
I'll never forget throwing elbows. Like,
Is that a wrestling term?
Yeah, I guess
imagine?
Macho flying elbow is his move. And you're like, Adam Woodward.
I was wondering if Adam was gonna follow me.
He was like elbows. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Jane,
I didn't know if I can trust Guinan or Guinan.
Speaking of which, we need to talk about that because Jane, did your character just accept that her name was Guinan, or was she actually Guinan? I want to know. Because you introduced yourself, you're saying, "Hey, this is Guinan."
I became Guinan.
Right?
Yeah.
And
I don't know who was
Where did it start?
No one
started
no
with
one
you.
wants-
Oh, I know it started. I know where it started. It was amazing to see all the cast grab onto
Pick
it,
up on it.
or I think some of you just didn't know the difference, so you just said it. That was great.
Well, I knew it was Guinan, but everybody was talking about her like she's Guinan, and so.
So I was like, I guess that's it. I guess it's Guinan now.
I had to ask, like, can we trust this Guinan? You know,
Guinan, winner.
Oh,
Gagnon. That's Gagnon. That's
Gagnon.
not Guinan.
It sounds like that's what you're saying. Gagnon.
Yeah. It's kind
Guinan style.
Yeah, no, I like the different energies that were kind of intersecting tonight on the different scenes.
I liked how you were going like French and English numbers.
Yeah,
so you were going back and forth between French
lines.
and
I wish I had actually changed, but I guess I had missed them because I did a couple times. I did English, but my plan was that Picard never said numbers in English. He would only say them in French. Unless, like, I decided that 22 years was one thing he had to say in English, so he was going to go, how do you say 22 years? Right? So, but there's a couple I was like, it's in the heat of the moment, he just said English, I guess.
which is a great homage to
Yes.
Jessica Chan.
Yes. How do you say? Yeah, I don't. Yeah.
How do you
I definitely
say-
stole that, or was paying homage, however Jessica wants to interpret it.
Well, I was paying homage to how you, Dave, play some of your female characters.
Yes. Yeah. Well, no, I was like, this is like Dr. Crusher. If Dr.
Yes,
Crusher,
it is.
He just ran with that.
Which was funny because
Yes.
Dr. Crusher had to talk to Tasha Yar
At
quite
the
a
end,
few
your Tasha Yar
times.
became a little different. I thought she was a little bit. Even
She was
more-
in love at the end.
Yeah.
You have to. You have to
Richard.
With Richard.
Dick. Yeah, I thought you were
gonna go Dick.
I know. I
instead
could
of
tell there
Richard.
was a change. I just didn't know what. I very much pronounced the pronunciation of lieutenant. Okay, yes, because I watched the French subtitle version on Netflix, and they say every time lieutenant. It's actually how they say it in French. I think it's a French word originally, and it was just sort of anglicized over time to lieutenant. But
And then there's lieutenant as well.
well, lieutenant, yeah, but like lieutenant is the British version, but they always spelled it like this, but they say it in England.
Why would the Americans and the Canadians? Well, Canadians make sense. But why would the Americans use
the British also
the
use
French
the French spelling, but they just say it. They just say it differently.
Pronounce it
So I think that the
Oh.
Americans just made it phonetic for them, but the British had made a conscious choice to say it differently than it was spelled.
This is almost as riveting as the uniform talk.
Hey, that was no, but then the black cuffs.
Yeah.
That was like I
That
think
went
that
on for a while.
Listen, don't blame me. Don't blame me.
I knew,
That had Dave written all over it.
I
You guys
knew,
know that I wrote
I
the
knew you
part
didn't
with
write
the, with
I-
Well, I
I knew
did.
you
I
didn't write
pointed
it.
to Dave. I'm like, did you write that? I knew he
I
did.
made it work. Yeah, I made it work.
I was hoping.
he's
Yeah.
like, "What's going on?" It's 80 years
I-
after,
That's
but there, you know,
I
there's
was
no
hoping,
belts
Dave,
and
that
there's
you
no
were
blah, blah,
watching
blah, blah.
all of us during that, because I was staring right in the camera and just going, "Come on."
no, it's true. There were some subtle differences. Like,
Oh my god!
it said that they were wearing Wrath of Khan. I'm like, well, not exactly Wrath of Khan. Like, it's kind of the evolution of the Wrath of Khan leading up to the switch to the more modernized TNG uniforms that will come to know in season
Yeah,
1.
we got it. We all listened.
Yeah.
Well, what year is it? Is it in
2290?
undiscovered country? What year is it?
2290. Sorry, 2290.
And it's what year in
2266.
the Enterprise?
70 something years. Yeah.
So it's still like 70 years after. Oh my god!
They weren't for another.
They still
50
wear
wore
those
them for another
damn red
50 years.
uniforms. Like nobody was like, "Hey, let's switch it up." In 75 years, they never were like, "You know what?
Oh,
the
they
red's
liked it.
not
They were like,
working
this is,
anymore."
this is a good look, and eventually they got tired of it. But it took them basically a century to get tired of that look. The one that the Rachel and Castillo wear, like
I don't know,
Garrett.
like the white navy for the U.S. Like, they're, you know,
They would never do a television show with those uniforms because those uniforms are way too hot and they could never wear
But
them outside.
They never made a show in that era, so it hasn't come up. Anyway, we might digress, but I had a lot of fun with that one. It was fun. Very different than I think the first time. Jane and Ashley and Jeff. Did you guys agree? Like different than the first time we did it?
yeah.
You're right.
Well, I did the Forge of the same, but
Did it
Riker
feel
was
different.
different.
Like I liked having the sounds. It was so long ago.
I thought
too,
your
right?
this Guinan or Guinan was more a little bit even more
It had a bit more emotion.
a bit more
perhaps?
emotion, a little
Maybe.
bit more a little less timid maybe because you were maybe nervous on the first
well,
one.
it was the first one. Yes.
You're
Yes.
old. This is old.
I'm just like,
pattern.
okay, I just got to read. That's all I was doing, was reading
Right.
the first one.
But this one you had like I don't know, and you were like there was time. There was more timing.
I don't
I
know.
don't know.
I don't know.
How could I
don't
ask them to
know.
die?
I don't know.
Let's do it.
I don't know.
Just figure
You
it out.
just have to. You just got to do it. This isn't right. There's already been billions been killed. Okay.
Well, yeah. So hey, this was great. We're gonna be back next weekend. Or we got to figure out Friday or when we're doing the next one. But we'll be back in the next weekend to do the next installment. We're gonna be doing Deep Space Nine. We're gonna be doing a mirror universe episode from that. They do have a mirror universe, a bunch of them actually, but we're only going to do one for now. And I think we're going to do the first one. We're going to do crossover. That was the very first mirror episode they did on Deep Space Nine, and that's one we're going to do. And then we'll doing Voyager after that, and then we'll kind of probably get back into a more of a regular rotation at that point. Just kind of one-off episodes. Maybe make Kevin's mom happier because I know she's not as mirror focused, but maybe she was back. I'm always worried about where Phyllis stands with the because she's like half the rating.
She's half the rating.
I mean, we really we're here to entertain Phyllis.
No, it was,
at the end of the day.
it's very much so. Also, what else do we do? We went Deep Space Nine on Tuesdays. Jeff, right?
Yeah, Deep Space Nine at 9ish. Come join us. We got the tag team couple here. We got Dave Mater here. We're going on to the Jem Hadar. That's next week's episode, the finale of season 2. We're almost out. We're almost out of the.
If you want to hear about Deep Space Nine and just a little bit of Babylon 5 in every episode. Tune
I'm
into
trying to get
that.
it in. I'm gonna sneak it in every episode.
Yeah. You want to dash?
Also on Wednesdays we do original
Yeah.
series rewatches. That's what includes Jody and Adam Woodward and Jeff and myself and Adam. I can't remember what we got coming up this next week. I know we just did the Galileo 7. We're trekking through all the original series episodes. We're more than halfway through, so check in every Wednesday. We do a random episode of original series. We don't do those in order. We do, but eventually we're going to do them all somehow, which is kind of interesting. So this is,
and we always have to, put ourselves back 55 years ago in Ted's mind.
Yeah, remember it's 1968, Dave, and they don't know how things are going to change, so it's not the same. Okay, right?
That's your Ted Nader.
That's my exaggerated Ted Nader. Yes, and
it's so much fun.
And then Jody's like, "Why did we watch this? Boring."
Why does this matter?
Yeah, he's like, "Why does this episode exist?" Yeah.
Terrible.
It's terrible. Who picked this?
Yeah, Adam.
It's always Adam. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the entertainment value on Wednesdays.
Yeah, it's mostly Jody.
Yeah, it was
and
good
my
in
dad
the
going,
60s.
it was good in the 60s.
Yeah, it was kind of weird.
We watched it once and that was it.
Belt that I had. So anyway, yeah. Anyway, and then Thursdays. Well, we're on hiatus right now, but we did Star Trek Picard, we did Star Trek Discovery recaps, and Star Trek Lower Decks. There was many of the people you see here were tonight, and on that we're all part of those. So there's a bunch of those from 2020, and then even a few from 2021 that you can check out if you're binge watching any of those shows or streaming them. I know, like Ashley just got caught up on Discovery season 3, and so I know that there's people out there getting caught up on Star Trek. Great time to be a Star Trek fan. And then we also have Super Mater Brothers podcasting, where we'll be coming back for Big Brother Canada pretty soon, whenever they release the date. And we're also doing Trivial Debates, where we have a monthly show where we argue about movies, TV, sports, and more. Check that out at Trivial Debates. And I think that's it. That's it for tonight. Thanks everyone who's on screen. Let's bring Mott hasn't been on screen in a while. Hey Mott, thank you. Thanks to everyone, and we'll be back. We'll be back in a week or so to do the next installment of Star Trek Radio Theater. Have a good one, everybody. Live long and podcast.